If we eliminate the lines, the most entrancing star I accept is the star that could be dazzling in our sky. It is this one, Bug Crush or Scarab Squeeze. It's a red B star. On the remote possibility that you put it where the sun is, it would connect with the circle of Jupiter. It's huge, very unpredictable, and going to explode. It's not quite as clear as it appears to be in the universe. These huge occasions, like the absolute most feared colossal starbursts, could shake all that we see and don't see to its middle. Anyway, Betelgeuse has been considered a sign, a red, very B star that is different times more noteworthy than our sun. Brian Cox and other space specialists figure it could go supernova at any time. People are, for the most part, frightened of what will happen, especially since the James Webb Space Telescope is taking dazzling photographs of the star. When, precisely, will Betelgeuse become a supernova, and how immense of an effect will it have on Earth? Let's find out. A star in the constellation Orion that shines so brightly that even people from long ago have seen it. The prominent star Betelgeuse is situated on the eastern shoulder of the constellation Orion. Betelgeuse is the second largest star in the constellation. Its name comes from this feature, the giant shoulder. It is perhaps one of the most brilliant stars in the night sky. On top of being unusually bright, the star is also an odd shade of red, which, as we will see, indicates trouble. We have known about Betelgeuse for a long time. A Greek analyst named Ptolemy also focused on it around that time. The main thing people realized about stars was their color. Ptolemy said that Betelgeuse was an orange color. Experts have been studying the star much more closely of late, and now have a good understanding of what makes it so abnormally bright. One of these attributes is that the star changes brightness a lot. With an apparent magnitude of 0.6, Betelgeuse is a variable star, which means its brightness changes over time. However, recently, experts have found new data about the star. In 2019, scientists initially observed that Betelgeuse was acting peculiarly. Despite the fact that Betelgeuse didn't completely stop shining, it wasn't the same, as it had become significantly less bright, glowing at a magnitude of around 1.6. Scientists quickly began to examine why they were seeing the 10th brightest star in this peculiar way. Scientists have had to make a startling statement based on their research, which concluded in the strange signals the star has recently shown. Scientists say that Betelgeuse could go supernova at any moment. Brian Cox, a prominent scientist, made this very bold statement. As a notable professor of particle physics at the University of Manchester School of Physics and Astronomy, you shouldn't take his stance lightly. He also hosts a science show, writes numerous science books, and is the Royal Society Professor for Public Engagement with Science. Brian Cox says that Betelgeuse is like a ticking delayed bomb because it could explode without warning. To amplify the situation, the James Webb Space Telescope has shown a massive amount of evidence to support this claim. But what odd signs has Betelgeuse given that have caused so much concern in astronomy? In light of new information about Betelgeuse, the star has been identified as a supernova candidate. However, researchers are still unsure when it will explode. The fact that Betelgeuse is nearly 20 times the mass of the Sun is one explanation for this classification. A star, in general, must be at least 8 times the mass of the Sun to be classified as a supernova. Things get even more interesting because experts have used various instruments to study Betelgeuse, such as the James Webb Space Telescope and the Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory, to observe what's happening in space around Betelgeuse. What they discovered is still captivating. Betelgeuse has been observed to have been born on August 31st many years ago. Around that time, the star supposedly emitted strange signals that made its future uncertain. What did they find? They could detect specific light waves coming from the star or around Betelgeuse, which was extremely peculiar. But this wasn't the only thing experts observed from the star. This brings us back to the possibility that Betelgeuse is a star whose brightness changes occasionally. It was noted that Betelgeuse dimmed at regular intervals and had dark spots, much like our Sun. However, the circumstances have changed. It changes from bright to dim twice as fast as it used to, which is another strange sign that Betelgeuse is back. Scientists found that the star's dimming cycle had hit a V-band magnitude of plus 1.614 in February 2021. This was shortly after the Great Dimming event. Remember how the star seemed to dim in an odd way in 2019? That's because it's known as the Great Dimming. We could see that the Great Dimming was the start of Betelgeuse's strange behavior, and it caused many people to worry that Betelgeuse was about to explode. The range of dimming was 1.2 between 2019 and 2020, and the lowest level of dimming ever recorded was in 2019. So, experts were certain that Betelgeuse would go supernova in the next 100,000 years based on the extraordinary dimming. There is something happening in the universe, and it is truly frightening. Researchers initially adjusted their views. However, when they saw what happened next, Betelgeuse brightened again after the Great Dimming and turned into something even more striking. Astrophysicist Andrea Dupree at the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics says that the star is now 150% brighter than usual, making it the seventh brightest star in the sky right now. Scientists were alarmed when they saw a red glow in the southern hemisphere. Today, it gets even more intriguing because this has led to many thoughts about what caused the Great Dimming. First, it's important to note that not all stars have the red shimmer of Betelgeuse. The red shimmer of Betelgeuse indicates a red supergiant star, which is the last phase of a star's life and death. The red glow, on the other hand, is caused by a surface temperature of around 3,500 Kelvin, which is much cooler than the outer layer of the Sun, which is 5,500 Kelvin. Since Betelgeuse is cooler than our Sun, it emits less energy per unit of surface area, despite the fact that it is larger and going to explode. Now, we should examine what the Great Dimming looked like. Brian Cox asks, does it mean that Betelgeuse is about to go supernova? The fact that Betelgeuse is a red supergiant already indicates that it is nearing the end of its life as a star. A star that is dying will also usually dim. Researchers chose not to make any definitive statements for a long time. However, Betelgeuse's new and unusual behavior has made experts much more focused, and many telescopes are now targeting the Great Dimming. Still, things remain very interesting because experts still don't have a deep understanding of Betelgeuse. Researchers are now using the most advanced instruments to monitor the fascinating events happening around Betelgeuse. The James Webb Space Telescope has been one of the best tools for this purpose. Specialists have utilized, up to this point, starting in 2021, the James Webb Space Telescope. It has been in space and has made a difference. Scientists have gained significant knowledge about Betelgeuse. The new pictures of Betelgeuse, taken by this telescope, have shown that the occasion caused a surface mass discharge. In view of new examination, we now realize that this mass launch was around 400 billion times more prominent than a regular coronal mass launch. The James Webb Space Telescope can likewise look at things that our eyes can't see, like light waves and frequencies. Consequently, scientists are excited for what the telescope will find. Scientists have seen dust mists forming on the star's surface that appear to be leaves in space. That doesn't make sense. Regardless of the way that Betelgeuse will die, specialists are still observing it, since they don't have the foggiest idea when it will go supernova. Analysts believe that Betelgeuse is many times more prominent than the Sun and that the brilliant red star will shine for the next 10 years. However, assuming we take a gander at the many unusual things happening with the star, it's challenging to say if this assertion will still be valid after the exceptional dimming. So, experts do not expect Betelgeuse to detonate anytime soon. If Betelgeuse detonates, it will be the first supernova we observe for ourselves since Johannes Kepler did in 1604. Specialists also don't want this to happen soon, because they are still looking out for the star's peculiar behavior. Notwithstanding the way that specialists are sure Betelgeuse will go supernova, when exactly it will happen remains a mystery. If we investigate the universe without bias, perhaps one of the most fascinating stars, and maybe the most astonishing in our sky, is Betelgeuse, frequently referred to as bug juice. This red supergiant star, wherever it is set, would extend to Jupiter's orbit. This staggeringly massive, unstable star is on the edge of an explosion. The universe doesn't work in such direct terms. Spectacular occasions like the feared starburst could essentially change all that we see. Betelgeuse has given intriguing indications as a red supergiant star that is numerous times the size of our Sun. Cosmologists, including Brian Cox, believe it could go supernova at any second. The worry lies in the implications of this event, especially since the James Webb Space Telescope has found disturbing pictures of the star. So, when exactly will Betelgeuse become a supernova, and what impact will it have on Earth? It wasn't equivalent to before. It had become considerably dimmer, shining at a magnitude of around 1.6. Scientists immediately began to research why the 10th brightest star in the sky was showing such curious behavior. They wanted to make a surprising statement based on their research, which uncovered strange signs from the star. According to their discoveries, Betelgeuse could go supernova at any second. Brian Cox, a prominent physicist and a respected professor of particle physics at the University of Manchester, shared this disturbing data. Cox's insights carry significant weight in the academic community. He has authored several popular science books and has a science show, making him a prominent figure in public engagement with science. He compared Betelgeuse to a ticking time bomb, emphasizing that it could detonate at any moment. The James Webb Space Telescope has provided extensive evidence to support this declaration, capturing stunning images that highlight the star's instability. Analysts have been especially captivated by Betelgeuse's unusual light patterns. For a long time, astronomers have noticed its fluctuations, but recent studies suggest that these changes are becoming more pronounced. The star's brightness has shown rapid variations, indicating it could be entering a critical phase of its life cycle. This fluctuation raises questions about the processes occurring within the star and what they could mean for its future. In 2019, after a striking dimming event, Betelgeuse's brightness plunged to an all-time low, causing concern among astronomers. This phenomenon, referred to as the Great Dimming, led many to speculate that the star was nearing the end of its life. Researchers found that Betelgeuse is multiple times the mass of our Sun, a critical factor in determining its fate. A star of this size typically undergoes dramatic changes before going supernova. Ongoing observations have shown that Betelgeuse is currently 150% brighter than expected, making it the 7th brightest star in our sky. This sudden increase in brightness has sparked various theories regarding its behavior. Some specialists believe it might be a precursor to the star's inevitable explosion, while others suggest that environmental factors, such as dust clouds or changes in surface temperature, could be affecting its luminosity. The James Webb Space Telescope has become a pivotal tool in this investigation. With its advanced capabilities, it can detect wavelengths of light that are invisible to the naked eye, providing further insights into the star's activity. For example, the telescope has noticed dust clouds forming on Betelgeuse's surface, which seem to resemble leaves in space. Notwithstanding the star's impending death, analysts are captivated by these discoveries and are eager to learn more as Betelgeuse continues to show unpredictable behavior. Researchers remain vigilant. While they believe the star will likely stay bright for the next several years, predicting its ultimate fate is complex. If Betelgeuse goes supernova, it would be the first such event detectable to the naked eye since Johannes Kepler observed a supernova in 1604. The ramifications of a nearby supernova are significant. Depending on its distance and the energy released, it could potentially affect Earth's climate and life. Space experts continue to monitor Betelgeuse closely, hoping to unravel its mysteries before any catastrophic event occurs.